Hello and welcome to Functional Human Anatomy. This is the lecture portion of the course. I am Dr. Lisa Rossman Murphy, and we will be teaching this part of the course in an asynchronous fashion through these recorded lectures, and your lab will be conducted synchronously through live streaming. I want to review the syllabus with you today in this segment. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a practicing physical therapist. I am also a Rutgers alumnus. I graduated from Rutgers College with a BA in English and Communication, a double major. I worked in Manhattan for the retail industry as a manager, and then was in advertising, and decided to go back to school for a career change. And that career change was to the field of physical therapy. I received a BS in science, MS in physical therapy from a CUNY school, CSI, and then went back after that for the doctorate in PT from Arcadia University. And so I am happy to be teaching you fine people anatomy, and I will be interspersing some PT examples as I can throughout the course. I am actually specializing in pediatric physical therapy, and so I will apply my experience and knowledge where I can throughout the course. So let's get going looking at the syllabus. So the course number here is 01377-213, and we will be conducting virtual office hours because this is an online course, so those will be by appointment. You should email me at this email address, lar122@knies.rutgers.edu, to set up an office hour when you feel the need to do that. The online site that we'll be using for the course will be Canvas, and the address is listed here. So all of the lecture materials will be posted on Canvas in PowerPoints, and the recordings, which would be the PowerPoints with the voiceovers, should be in Canvas as well. We are going to be using WebEx for virtual office hours, and also WebEx for study group meetings. And you should have received an announcement about your study group meeting. Those are not mandatory. They're for your own use for study resources. Okay. So this is an online learning format, and we're going to have these pre-recorded lectures, and they're great because they allow you to pause and rewind as needed if you missed something, or to stop and take a break as needed, get up and stretch, move around, which I highly recommend. Not sitting on your bottom too long on that at the desk or in your bed or wherever you're listening to these. Really get up and move around. The mind can only absorb as much as the ass can endure, okay? So if you're feeling kind of sluggish, get up and move around, all right? We're going to be putting case studies in throughout the course material. So we're going to be applying lecture material to real life settings, real life case studies, which makes things more interesting for you. Those study group sessions, as I said, are not mandatory, but they will give you an opportunity to further elaborate on material with each other, or for clarification if you're confused about something. So I highly stress finding a study buddy, or using these study group meetings to review information. Okay, if you have a question, go to your study buddy first, or someone in the study group. Use the study group to pose your question. Many of the questions are simple things. You just missed something in lecture, you can get it from somebody else, okay? If that does not work for you, or if your study group cannot answer your questions, then reach out to me, okay? But generally, reach out to your fellow students first. Oftentimes, it's just some simple information that you missed, or something that you misunderstood that the other guy understood, okay? There are over 200 of you, okay? So please do not email me with simple little questions that your study group can answer. There will be quizzes assigned for each recorded lecture, and this is just another opportunity for you to synthesize the material taught and to, again, look at those notes and add to your learning experience. Okay, quizzes are not going to count for credit. They're just an opportunity to help keep you on pace with the material. Homework assignments will be for credit. They are there, again, to help you stay on pace with the syllabus, because you're going to get that homework assignment come through on Canvas, and you're going to see that notification of when it's due. So that's going to help kind of keep you on pace. This is what students tell me. They see that and they go, oh, wow, yeah, I have to get that in there. I have to look at that material. So that's there to help you stay on pace with the syllabus. Again, you can reach out to me for online office hours or any questions you might have. Email me, tell me who you are in the email, what class you're from, because I teach more than one class, and I will usually get back to you within 24 hours. Okay, so the lectures will be pre-recorded and accessible through Canvas. Study group meetings will be on Monday from 1:10 to 2:30. That would have been our live class meeting time, so I just kind of stuck with that time. And again, virtual office hours are by appointment. Notes will be in PowerPoint format, PDF format on Canvas. You will be receiving another syllabus for lab from Professor Devine that will explain how the lab is structured and the course content there. The required text for this course is the Atlas of Anatomy from Gilroy, McPherson, and Ross. Now, what I want to say is if you have another Atlas of Anatomy, that is perfectly acceptable. You don't need to run out and get the Gilroy Atlas, okay? We want you to have a good atlas to refer to. The body is the same, so as long as the atlas is a good one, you're going to have the same information. The atlas can be a pricey book. However, most of you here are thinking you are on the pre-med track or pre-therapy track. You're going to use this atlas, okay? You will refer to it throughout your career, so do not worry. This is a good investment. The recommended text is Human Anatomy, the Martini book. Recommended, okay? I will be covering everything that I want you to learn in this course through these recorded lectures, and you do not need to purchase this Martini text. Any information on quizzes, homework, the exams will all be covered in the recorded lectures. If, however, you're somebody that likes to read a little bit more in depth about the material, then go at it, feel free, okay? But it is not required. Course objectives. So you will be able to, at the end of this semester, understand and correctly apply descriptive, anatomical, and directional terminology. You will have a summary of how connective tissues establish the framework of the body. You'll be able to describe the structure and function of the skeletal system and the joints. You will be able to compare and contrast gross and microscopic anatomy of the muscular system. We generally focus more on the gross structures, not the microscopic, but there are some cases where we do elaborate more on the microscopic, and the muscular system is one area where we do that. You will be able to identify major blood vessels and circulatory routes of the cardiovascular system. You will be able to describe the anatomical organization of the lymphatic system and how it interacts with other systems of the body to defend it. You will be able to compare and contrast anatomy and physiology of the respiratory system. There's that word physiology. So again, this is not a physiology class, but we will delve a little into physio for some of the systems. You will be able to describe the anatomy and physiology of the endocrine system, describe anatomical organization and function of the nervous system and its subdivisions. You'll be able to describe the anatomy and phys of the digestive, urinary, integumentary, and reproductive systems. And if you were keeping track, those were 11 systems we listed. So all of the body systems will be covered in this course. Finally, you'll be able to understand anatomical changes pertaining to pregnancy and embryology. Okay, pregnancy is a condition that is possible for 50% of the population. And so this is an important time to look at and describe for you so that you are understanding the changes that occur in the event you are entering the field of medicine or therapy or any healthcare field working with the public. So the expectations for you as the student are the following. You should be reviewing the lecture material provided on Canvas for each class segment. So those PowerPoints. You should be listening to all the lectures. Very important note, not all the material or research presented will be in the Canvas PowerPoints or in the textbook. Okay, again, the textbook's just recommended. So you really need to listen to these recorded lectures. You should be reading all class announcements on Canvas. I can't stress this one enough. If I need to communicate with you, it will be through a Canvas announcement. That's the best way for me to reach all of you at once. So please do not ignore those. I don't send a lot of them out. So when you get them, they're important. Read them. You should be adhering to Rutgers Academic Integrity Policy when completing online assignments. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into assignments. Please seek help from the professor if having difficulty with any portion of the course. Again, you're going to have your study group. Pick a study buddy. Okay, maybe it's someone from study group, someone from your lab group, but have a resource so that if you have a question, you go first to that resource. If they can't clear it up, then come to me. Okay. Grading will work as follows. There will be homework assignments that will be worth a total of 30% of your grade. They total 80 points. Exam 1 is worth 10% of your grade. It's worth 70 points. Exam 2, 70 points, it will be 15% of your grade. Exam 3 is 90 points, and it will be worth 15% of your grade. Exam 3 is the final exam. Then you will have your final lab grade, which will be a full 30% of the course grade. All of those percentages equal 100. There will be a lab practical midterm, and then the final, they're each 15%. So that equals your 30%. Any lab questions, concerns, issues should be addressed first with your lab instructor. Okay, don't come to me with any lab questions or concerns. Go to your lab instructor. If that person is not able to help you, then you should reach out to Professor Devine. He is the coordinator for all of the lab sections. So using those percentages that we just reviewed, final grades will be assigned as follows. Your final class percentage out of 100, if you are 90% or higher, that means you earned an A. If you fall within the 85 to 89.99% range, then you've earned a B+. 80 to 84.99% means you've earned a B. So on and so forth. Read this next line and learn it and understand it. There is no curving nor extra credit in this course. So wherever your final percentage falls, that's the grade you earn. We do not curve. We do not give extra credit. So if right now you're thinking you want to earn an A in this course, you need to do A work. And I can tell you how to do A work. Students who earn A's in this course are the students who listen to all the recorded lectures, who clarify information they're not clear on. They take good notes. I would recommend, if you can, printing out the PowerPoints and jotting your notes on those or next to those PowerPoint shots. Okay, if you can't print them out, that's okay. Still take good notes, and you can say slide 1, slide 2, right, and kind of note them that way. So those students that get A's listen to the PowerPoint lectures, they take good notes. If they don't understand something, they clarify it with their study buddy. Some of them have made Google Docs with their study buddies or study groups, where each person can then add to the Google Doc information that they might have missed or that someone else missed in class during the lectures. Okay, so these are people that take very good notes. They review those notes. When they take the quizzes, they are doing well on the quizzes, which is a gauge that they're understanding the material. If they're not doing well on the quizzes, they say, what am I getting wrong here? Am I not listening to all the lectures? Am I not taking good notes? Am I not understanding the material? That's a checkpoint for you to amend what you're doing. Okay, these students that get A's do well on the homeworks. Okay, we're going to talk about the homeworks in a little bit, but they get good grades on the homeworks. And then because they're doing all of those things, they do study for the exams and they do well on the exams. So if you're listening to what I'm saying, there's sort of a pattern here. It's just keeping up with the material. Okay, this is not brain surgery. It's not that you have to synthesize complicated information. It's a lot of memorization. All right, a lot of memorization and a lot of information. So do not fall behind. This is a class you do not want to fall behind in. Exams. Exams 1, 2, and 3 is the final. Total, they will make up 40% of the final grade. They will consist primarily of objective type questions, so multiple choice, true and false, but there may also be diagrams to label, fill in the blanks, short answer questions. Okay. When we get closer to exam time, I will explain the structure of the exams. I will send an announcement out. Generally, what I've been doing with the online classes is allotting a 24-hour period for you to enter the exam. That gives you flexibility based on your own personal schedule, whether or not your home environment is busy during the day and it's really quiet at 10 p.m. at night. So that's a good time for you to take the exam. So you decide what time is good for you to enter it. You'll have a 24-hour period. Once you enter the exam, you'll have the class period to complete it, which is 80 minutes. All right, so the clock starts once you enter the exam. You have 80 minutes to complete it. The exams will be given on Canvas. You'll go into quizzes, look for exam 1 or whichever exam it is, and go into that. And then once you start that, like I said, the clock starts. You're usually able to navigate through it, which means if you can go from one question into another and go back again and move back and forth within the exam. The exam will be open for 24 hours Eastern Standard Time. So you need to be aware of that if you're in a different time zone. And when the exam is due to close, if it's midnight on whatever date, it's going to close at midnight on that date, Eastern Standard Time. So again, if you're in a different time zone, be aware of that. Make sure you enter it early enough so that you give yourself the full 80 minutes before midnight Eastern Standard Time when it closes out on you. Okay, we'll, as I said, there'll be an announcement as we get closer explaining more about the exams and reminding you of all these things I just said. Homeworks, there will be homework assignments that will be worth 30% of the final grade. I think there are 5 of them. Homework will be posted on Canvas under quizzes, refer to the syllabus for dates. We're going to look at that in a minute. Homework is open book. So this is really an opportunity for you to look back at your notes to further understand the material that was covered and hopefully do well with the homeworks, okay? Quizzes will be posted on Canvas under quizzes, and these will be given with each recorded lecture. These are for study purposes only. These will not be graded. So these are just meant to help you stay on pace with the material and just give you another opportunity to look at what was taught and synthesize that material. So here's our schedule. It says tentative class outline subject to change. Okay, I pretty much stick with what I've got here. I really have not had to change much in the past ever. But check announcements. Again, this is why those Canvas announcements are so important. If we do need to change something, you're going to get that notification in an announcement. So roughly, not roughly, this is our syllabus. This is what we'll be following. So looking at dates as if we were meeting for class times. So September 2nd is the start of our class. You should be listening to this lecture and then Intro to Functional Human Anatomy, that lecture. Then we're going to have, for September 8th, the connective tissue lecture, the 9th, muscular system, the 14th, skeletal system. And look, homework 1 is due on the 14th. Okay, so homework 1 would probably be posted by the 8th or so, 8th or 9th, and then you'll have until the 14th to complete it. Okay, so check those dates and times, make sure you're completing it on time because homeworks do count for credit. Then moving forward, I'm going to jump to September 28th will be the date of the first exam. We see a nice asterisk. The asterisk tells us this exam will cover material up to and including the nervous system, and we see another asterisk there. Okay, so from connective to actually from the intro to anatomy, connective tissue, all the way through up to and including the nervous system material, that will be on exam 1. Okay, homework 2 is due October 7th. Exam 2, let's see, homework 3 is due October 21st. Then we see digestive system on October 26th with a double asterisk. And then the next class date is exam 2, October 28th. We see the double asterisk tells us that exam 2 covers materials from the nerve plexuses through the digestive system. Okay. Homework 4 is due November 9th. Homework 5 is due November 18th. Okay, and all throughout you should be listening to these recorded lectures that are listed on these dates. Okay, so they'll be open to you a few days before that listed date, so you can listen to them. The quiz will be loaded for you to get into and do, and then the homeworks will be open about a week before they're due. Okay. Coming to the end of the semester, we've got pregnancy and embryology, December 2nd, a couple of dates where we'll go over some more case studies. And then the final exam will be given on whatever our finals date is. I don't have that yet. I will let you know as we get closer. Final exam will cover material from the urinary system, which was where the second exam left off, through the end, pregnancy and embryology. And I should have a little note here. It's not cumulative, but there will be some questions that will be whole systems, whole organism type questions that you should be able to answer if you've kept up with all of the material throughout the semester. Okay, so again, exams will be given through Canvas, and you'll get an announcement as we get closer with more information. We do follow the academic integrity policy of Rutgers. Okay, so quizzes and homeworks, they're open book. Okay, I'm giving you these opportunities to go back and review the information. This is a learning process. I want you to learn this material. Okay, if you're taking this class just to get good grades on exams and get a good grade in the class, but your desire is not to learn anything, then drop it now. Okay. You're taking this class hopefully to learn human anatomy. If you're thinking pre-med, if you're thinking anatomy or any career in medicine or healthcare, you need to learn the material in this class. And if you have no interest in learning it, please do not enter the field of medicine or healthcare. Okay. So homeworks and quizzes are open book. Those are opportunities for you to review the material taught, to really assimilate it, learn it well, okay? But exams, by that point, you should know the material. And the exams are structured so that you're really not going to have time to go back and look at material in your notes or in the book. So we don't want you doing that. When exam time comes, you should be following the academic integrity policy and looking no further than your own brain for the answers. If you'd like to look at the whole policy, here's the website or the link for it. Email etiquette. When emailing me, please use your Rutgers email address. Do not send me a notice through Canvas. Okay, do not do that. Send me a direct email. That way we get that chain of emails. If we do have a conversation going back and forth, it keeps that history there. Canvas doesn't do that. I'm likely to not answer you if you send me a notice in Canvas. So make sure you email me. Tell me your name. Tell me what course you're in. Again, I teach more than one course. I will respond to your emails within 1 to 2 days. You say usually 1 day, okay, business days, so not including the weekend. Makeup policy. We do not have makeups for exams or extensions for exams or missed assignments unless if there's one of the following situations. So athletics or Rutgers-sponsored trips, which I don't think we're going to have any of that happening in the fall. But if that is the case, you should provide me with notification from your advisor or coach, signed by them, showing the dates and times you'll be traveling and that what the conflict is. Any religious observances or any other extenuating circumstances. So illness, death in the family, accidents, things like that, that would be left up to my discretion to decide whether or not to give you an extension or a makeup. Diversity and inclusion, this is our department statement. I will let you read it. Bottom line is we as a department, and I feel very strongly that diversity makes us better and stronger. And I do not tolerate anyone who does not communicate with me or fellow students with this in mind. So I would appreciate everyone's respect of this policy and respect of each other. Okay, and then finally some university services that are offered to students. These are not, none of these offices are open for in-person resources right now, but they are certainly reachable online. So if you have the need for any of these services, please, please, please utilize them. They are there for you. Okay, so that's our syllabus, and I'm really excited about teaching you guys. This is an awesome class, if I say so myself. Anatomy's great. I loved it when I took it way back when, and I hope that you feel the same way. So our next recording will be the intro to anatomy. Thanks.